Howdy folks, I'm the game designer, illustrator, and publisher of Drawn Hungry, Jordan Mishra Johnson. Today, I'm going to teach you the rules of how to play Drawn Hungry. Drawn Hungry is designed for 3 to 10 players. It typically takes 60 to 90 minutes to play and is for ages 14 and up. You're going to need to grab a phone or a timer and enough paper and pencils for all your players. Also, create a tally sheet with each of the players' names on a separate piece of paper. Your game will come with 3 decks of cards. The blue deck is for ingredients, green is for dishes, and yellow is your special occasions. I recommend shuffling each deck before you begin and then placing them face down in the center of the table as your draw piles. If you have a long table or a lot of players, you can even divide up the dishes and ingredients into different draw piles so they're easier for people to reach. In Drawn Hungry, you'll play multiple rounds where players create and present their meals to the head chef, who will judge the meals and decide the winner each round. Players take turns as the head chef each round. You will win the game by winning rounds and accumulating points based on the dish and ingredient cards you incorporate into your meals. The points you need to win depends on how large your group is. If you have 3 to 7 players, you'll play until one player accumulates 25 points or more. If you have 8 to 10 players, then you'll play to 18 points. Reach the necessary point total, you'll win the game and be declared a culinary genius. Step 1. Grab your starting hand. Every player starts the game by grabbing 5 ingredient cards and 5 dish cards. Yes, players can look at the cards in their hand. Players have the option to use the marks on the back of the ingredient cards to curate cards that match their dietary preferences. GF for gluten-free, V for vegetarian, and V with an asterisk for vegan. Players are welcome to reference the ingredient glossary or ask other players at the table for more information about an ingredient or dish they may be unfamiliar with. Step 2. Pick the head chef. The player who chopped an onion most recently is the head chef for the first round. If none of the players have chopped an onion before, the oldest player will be the first head chef. The head chef starts the round by randomly picking a card from the special occasion deck and a card from the table's ingredient deck, which is now the round's secret ingredient. The head chef may change the secret ingredient if it's incompatible with the special occasion. For example, you wouldn't want chicken for a vegan feast. Before starting the timer, the head chef announces the last chance substitution. Players have the option to quickly discard and redraw any cards for their hand. Each card that's discarded deducts 1 point, leading some players to have negative points. Players cannot swap cards after this. Step 3. Meal prep. All the players now have 5 minutes to create their meals. That could mean writing down a description, making a few notes, drawing a picture, or simply choosing what cards you want to use and mentally preparing what you're going to present later. The head chef will not be making a meal though. We'll get to what they do a little later. Players can prepare a single dish or multiple dishes depending on the occasion. A feast or party will likely be better with multiple dishes, while a potluck would likely call for just 1 dish. You aren't limited to what's in your hand. Use your imagination to add additional ingredients for desirable effect to sell your meal. Points are only awarded for the ingredient and dish cards submitted in your meal though. The only requirements are that 1. You must use a minimum of 1 ingredient and 1 dish from your hand, but you may use as many cards as you want. And 2, you must incorporate the secret ingredient somewhere in your meal. Finally, demonstrate that you are done creating your meal and ready to present by flipping your Ready to Present card from yellow to green. For example, let's say the head chef pulls the Auntie's Summer Potluck card and you have the almonds as the secret ingredient. As a player, you find you have a pie dish card and a lemon ingredient card. You can present a lemon and blueberry meringue pie with an almond crust. If the head chef chooses you to win the round, you will only get points for the pie, lemon, and almond cards used in the meal. Please note, there is no need to match ingredient and dish cards. Ingredients and dishes can be played separately or together to create your meal. Card points are only counted once each round. While you can use an ingredient or dish multiple times in your meal, you cannot earn extra points. During the 5 minutes of meal prep, if a player has a special Revenge is a dish best served cold card in their hand, they can use it against another player at any point during the 5 minutes of meal prep, but not the head chef. If a player has their cards stolen, they are stuck using their remaining cards and cannot draw more. The head chef has the option to write down special criteria they'll be using to judge the meals. For example, if we're planning a beachside picnic, I'm looking for a meal that is least likely to get sand in it. If you don't feel like coming up with judging criteria, head chefs are free to use the 5 minutes as a break to grab snacks, get a beverage, whatever you need. This is key though. Judges only reveal their special criteria after all the players have presented their meals. Step 4. Present and judge. Once the 5 minutes are up, or all players finish their meals, whichever comes first, players will take turns presenting their meals to the head chef. Start the presentation by showing what dish and ingredient cards you used. Players are encouraged to sell their meal to the head chef through storytelling and vivid descriptions of the flavors, textures, and special features. Come up with creative names, special serving instructions, or precise plating. Judging criteria is up to every individual, but if you need guidance, consider the flavor balance of the selected ingredients, creativity of the proposed dish, and its suitability for the designated occasion. If the secret ingredient is not used, the player is disqualified for that round. A player can also be disqualified if they fail to include at least one ingredient and one dish card from their hand. After all the players have presented, the head chef must choose one player meal to win the round. Once a winner is selected, total up the points from the winner's ingredient and dish cards, including the secret ingredient on your tally sheet for that round. Only the winner of the round accumulates points. I also like to give the winner of the round their special occasion card as a trophy. Step 5. Repeat. Once the round has ended, players discard all their used dish and ingredient cards into piles face up next to the original draw piles. Everyone redraws cards to ensure you have 5 ingredients and 5 dishes in your hand before the next round begins. The role of head chef is then passed on to the next player to their left, and the next round will begin. The head chef will select a new special occasion, secret ingredient, and call for last chance substitution before starting the timer again. The game ends when one player reaches the designated amount of points, wins the game, and is declared a culinary genius. I'll leave you with one last piece of advice. The name of the game is literally Drawn Hungry. It's a warning. Playing this game will make you hungry very quickly. I recommend either playing after a big meal or playing with plenty of snacks on hand. I hope you have a great time playing this with your friends and family. If you have questions, want to share the meals you create, or just want to take a seat at my ever-growing kitchen table of fun, join the Drawn Hungry Dinner Party Facebook group. Now, go get meal prepping and have some fun. See you later, folks. They'll be using to judge the meals.